Hey folks, welcome back to my quest to review all of the Mad Max movies leading up to Furiosa. So with all that in mind, I will now be reviewing Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, directed once again by George Miller and starring Mel Gibson, Vernon Wells, Kjell Nilsson, and Emil Minty. So now civilization has now officially gone to shit. And now all that's left to do is scavenge for supplies and the precious gasoline, as they say down in Australia. Anyway, caught in the middle of this sun-scorched hellhole is, once again, Max, played by Mel Gibson. He is, he's not having fun. He keeps getting attacked by people wanting to steal his car's gasoline, and he has to eat dog food. And although at this point he doesn't seem really bothered by it, he eats it, like a civilized man with a fork. A plastic fork at that, but still. Anyway, with the path to acquiring fuel blocked by Lord Humongous, yes, that is his actual name, played by Kjell Nilsson, Mohawk-wearing Lieutenant Wes, played by Vernon Wells, and an army of crazy marauders with their own custom vehicles, Lego Movie 2 reference for the win, Max will team up with an outpost and the gyro captain, played by Bruce Spence, to acquire the precious gasoline. So narratively speaking, this film is more tightly structured than its predecessor. Gone on the long stretches of runtime where characters are driving, walking, etc. Again, there was a lot of downtime in the first movie, and again, wasn't bothered by it, but this film, you can tell that they definitely have much more purpose to it, both for the characters and for the pacing. The screenplay, it does a good job of giving Max a more interesting characterization. Again, he's not a bad character in the first film, but with this film, he's given, he's Max as we know him, essentially. He's a loner. He's a bit of a, I wouldn't say savage, but he's uncivilized now. The dude eats dog food out of a can and points a shotgun at someone point blank. He has his car rigged to blow should someone try to steal it. The screenplay also, while it doesn't have any one-liners per se, it does a good job of getting plenty of fun interactions for the characters and dialogue for them to chew on. Like, there's some of the best dialogue interactions that occur between Max and the gyro captain, which makes for some of the hilarious dialogue in the movie. The writing does have some issues. The pacing is a touch too slow in the first act, as in the first act, the gyro captain, he takes Mel Gibson's character Max out to an outpost, where he can get some gasoline. And basically what ends up happening is they essentially just settle down for the long haul as they spy on the marauders trying to get into the outpost. And it's not terrible. You learn some things, but I don't know. It just could have maybe kicked it up just a little bit in terms of pacing. Again, not a deal breaker, but could have been a bit faster. There are also some supporting characters where, you can tell the film wants you to care about them, but I don't know. I could have used a little bit more fleshed out characterization for them. Again, the characters weren't terrible. They had some personality, but not enough for me to be like, oh no, not, what's your name again? Yeah. So Max is the main star of the show this time around, and Mel Gibson gets to take full advantage of this. He gets to show how much of a scavenger he's become since civilization officially went sideways, and seeing him, try to survive is really fun. And plus, you get to see how much of a loner he's become and just how antisocial compared to the previous film. And yet, Mel Gibson still manages to bring the necessary heart to keep him from being a two-dimensional caricature. This is best demonstrated in his interactions with the feral kid, played by Emil Minty. Seeing him, again, he clearly cares about the kid, based off of the loss of his own son from the prior film. But he doesn't want to get too close because you can tell he's still too haunted by the memory of it. Bruce Spence, he brings idiosyncratic charm to the gyro captain. Vernon Wells brings unhinged energy to the role of Wes. And Kjell Nilsson brings equal parts savagery and sophistication to the role of Lord Humongous. He's like, okay, all right, we want the fuel, but we'll tell you what. Just leave the outpost and leave us the fuel and we'll let you go. The film never does explore whether or not he's lying or not, so I kind of like that. So the action scenes have received a massive upgrade from the previous film. Funny what having an actual budget will let you accomplish, huh? There are impressive multi-car chases. No longer is the action confined to the more urban environments. Like, they get to be out on the open desert road, and there are like several cars in any given shot. Not as many as Fury Road. I'll get to that, 2 videos down the line, but still. Some fun action scenes, and the aerial shots are impressive. Plus, the gyro helicopter makes for some fun action, and I'm surprised that they didn't use anything like it in Fury Road, but of course, I don't know, Fury Road is already awesome as it is. Anyway, I digress. There are several how'd they do that shots at any given point in the movie, and if the original established the types of characters that would occupy this franchise, the Road Warrior establishes the visual identity of what this franchise will look like for years to come. There's also some noticeably cranked shots this time around, much like the prior film, but there are considerably fewer. So the costumes and set design have also received an upgrade. No longer confined to the pre-civilization attire of the previous film, this film gets to go full gonzo with its costume design. And it's not as colorful as Fury Road, but still, the film does lend the characters some much needed color to help them stand out from the drab Australian landscape. Not that it looks bad, but still, you need to help them stand out from the earth dirt brown. The characters, they also get fun costume design. Like, this film essentially defined what a post-apocalyptic movie should look like in terms of costumes, with everything from the black leather gimp costumes to the rather ramshackle costume design of the heroes at the outpost, although some are a bit awkwardly 80s. Like, one woman has like a headband and a ponytail that make me go, did you just come from CrossFitness at like an 80s fitness studio or something? But again, it gives the film a visual identity all of its own. So though it has a few narrative bumps in the road, this doesn't stop the Road Warrior from delivering high-octane action and memorable characters. So with all that in mind, I will be giving The Road Warrior 4 out of 5 stars. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. If you like this review and would like to see more like it, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. And for today's comment section prompt of the day, what is your favorite George Miller movie and why?